Good afternoon, everybody. It's the 14th of June, which is actually 1 week away from the longest day. So after next Friday, the nights start drawing in. Ain't that depressing when we've had no summer? What I'm doing is a quick update on what I've been doing over the last fortnight. Not a lot happening with the fish, they've been anchored down. I've seen other people having the same problem, but I've been trying to entice them to eat. I've got the pond now. The temperature of it is, just have a look here. That's 16. There we go. Maybe just over. But I might have made it a bit of a rod for my own back regards the food, because I've tried them on some Sakakari Balance and they seem to be coming up for that, so I'm going to end up buying expensive food. They always used to eat cheap stuff. As you can see, since the last video I've put my feeder back on because I've been away for a couple of days and I didn't want my mate to keep coming around and having to feed the fish. He comes and does the garden. At the moment it's only every 2 or 3 days because the greenhouse don't really need it. They don't need watering because it's not getting hot enough. But the little ones keep coming to this corner. They're not eating a lot, but in fact I'll give them a test now. I've got some of this Sakakari in here, and I've also got some smaller pellets for the little ones. We'll see what they do. But I've took my lid off the top of this, my shower unit. I'm not sure, it seems to get a bit close to the top sometimes. And I know Shane from Hertz Koi said put a bit of floss in the top and it works a treat. That's all I've had in since I built the shower. But I did open it the other day and it seemed to be a bit close to the top. But what I did, I cleaned my pressure filter, and I think too much water were getting through to the top of there. I cleaned my pressure filter and seemed to go down again, but is that alright? If anybody can tell me, I'd like that bit of information. Also, last 2 videos ago I said that I was going to measure my fish. Me and the wife spent about an hour measuring the fish, and we wrote it down what sizes they were in there, and I think I've got 3 up around about 60 cm. I think there's 4 or 5 in the 50s, 4 or 5 in the 40s, and 6 in the 30 centimetres, and then the young ones, the new ones from Sunnybank, they're about 16 to 20, and my little Tancho, he's up to about 25 now, the little one there. So I'm happy, but this makes me happy that I do, even though I'm near pond and they don't see me that often, they're actually coming up and feeding. Also, for anybody who were watching, I've actually bodged this bench up, made this bench out of the old decking boards that were left over, so I've got somewhere to sit and watch the fish. That I can take that seat off at any time because I've made it temporary just in case I do actually put a pond in this area. What I'm going to do today is obviously have these few minutes with these fish, and then I'm going to show you, do a bit of the gardening, and at the end I'm going to go around the front and have a look at the fish in the front pond. It's just starting to rain, so I might be having to hurry up a bit. But the fish they look alright, but they obviously they've not been eating. Right then, what I'll do, I'll just take you up here. And this is what I've been harvesting today. I've took a bit of basil out. The strawberries, what I said, look like they could be useless. I've had them off today. A few radishes off just to make a bit of space so the others grow a bit more. Spinach, some lettuce and a bit of mint. I've also been a bit productive with my little bit of artwork, my sculpture, you could call it what you will. But I made that the other day. I thought about Lanzarote when I was making it, and see them lads on beach, you can stack them up, just balancing them. Well, I find no nails keeps them in position. So that's what they're stuck with. If I go back here, I'll show you what I've been having a bit of problem with. This is your gardeners, is this. And this is leaf miner. This is on my spinach, but you get it bad on your beetroot as well. And they lay the eggs on the back, they burrow in and then start eating away at your leaf, devastating it. I'll show you in a minute on the beetroot how some when it's gone. And I don't know whether you can see those little white dots there, but they're the eggs. Some call it a moth, some call it a fly, but its name is a leaf miner, and they can devastate all your veg, beetroot, spinach and things like that. I'll just show you what it's actually done to some of what it can do to your beetroot leaves. It can get as bad as that. Let me get a decent picture of it. There's some more there. These I've got to take off. Take these off and get rid of it. You can't put it on your compost because the maggot or whatever will be in there, and apparently they crawl down the stem and into the ground, come out as another fly. You start all over again. The onions are starting to develop a little bit. Not a lot, I must say. It's obviously down to weather. The potatoes, those there are ready for coming out. That one there is ready for coming out. But at the moment I don't think we need one. Obviously you can see there where I've taken the spinach off this morning, and I've got a few carrots coming through there. Now to the strawberries, which I was worried about, you can see on there now, this strawberry's almost ready. If we do get a bit of sun this afternoon, but I was worried they weren't going to crop this year, and obviously they have done. If you can see that one there, I'll take that off. That's one that's got slug damaged. See the hole there? And this one here, I saw it this morning, blackbird. Can't get a real good picture of that. The blackbird were pecking at that one. So the wife not be getting them, she'd goodbye me. But yeah, they're doing well, to be fair. But what I did after I took the brown ones off a few weeks ago, I did put a bit more straw around them, and I fed them, give them a bit of feed, and they're coming on leaps and bounds really. Now then, these are me red currants. You see like a ball at the top of these red currants. That happens when you get an insect in them, and it curls up. And I've opened this one up just to show you. They say it don't hurt the plant, but I always pinch them off and throw them in bin, crush them and throw them in the bin. I don't like them, but very often you see ants coming up, and sometimes I don't know whether it's on with this type of insect or not, but sometimes the ants milk the insect, but I don't know whether this one does it or not, but I will be taking these off later. The garlic's starting to go yellow, starting to go over, so it won't be long before that's ready. This is where I got my radishes from. As I say, it came out of a little pot. You don't need a lot of room if you're growing radishes, as long as you don't want a lot of them. The spring onions, I think I'm going to thin them out. They're getting a bit too tight, and it's pouring it down now. And these are my French beans. As you can see, they're going well up the stem. I don't wigwam mine. There's canes. A lot of people pull them in and wigwam them, but I always find I struggle to find all the beans. So when they get to the top of there, I nip the top off, and I can get at the beans. Right, I'll just show you the clematis and the lilies on the back of there. They're going really well, looking really nice. We just could do a bit more weather to get them budding. Something else that's going really well is my beer fridge. I actually made that table out of an old television table, looking well. You probably didn't hear anything I said while I were in there, but I'm pleased with that. Just here, these weren't here before, probably 2 weeks ago when I did the other video. Now what are these are here for? I've got beetroot, a lettuce, a red lettuce, Rosso, and some little gem and some leeks growing in there, and these are mange too. What are these are for is when my garlic's finished, what I do, I put them into their pots, bring them on. The chilies and peppers are flowering. They're not as big as I expected. I normally get them bigger than that. I probably should have put them in slightly bigger pots. I might do that later this week. The little tomatoes and the little cucumbers are coming through. Whether I'll ever get anything off of them, I don't know. But just here, this is the cucumber flowers, which you take off simply because that there isn't going to make a cucumber. It just comes as a stem, so it's not going to make a cucumber. So you just whip them off. Everything else is pretty much same as before. Obviously I've took some lettuce off of this. I shall be getting this out here today. There's a little bit of lettuce at back there which I can use for a week or so till this lettuce comes through. I'm a bit unsure about it because it seems to be taking a long while for lettuce, but we'll keep going. Just here you can see the cucumbers, and there's quite a few on here. They'll probably take another week or so. There's another one of the little flowers, and look in here, that one's the same, but they're doing okay. I can put up with that. One of the grandchildren actually likes to eat them like a banana. Crazy. I don't mind cucumber, but I can't eat it like that. Right, what I'll do now, if it stops raining, I'll pause you and take you around the front and show you the little fish. Right, we're around the front now, and what I've got here, this is something I've put on my front pond. This is the food container. That's what the container looks like. And anybody who knows will be saying, well, that's for an aquarium, you can't put that outside. Well, I thought that, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway. I like a bit of a risk. But what you can see here, that's the feeder. I haven't put a lot of food in it. Well, it's been running now for, I should imagine, about 10 days. But I don't put a lot of food in case the water gets in. Now anybody who's got one of these on the aquarium, they'll know that the opening is at the top when the machine's not running. It'll feed twice a day, and I'll get the container what I've just had and show you how you adjust it and one thing or another. But it runs on batteries. There's a button on back here which, if I press it, I know there's no fish in there in a minute, but if I press it, you can see it set off. There you go. Trickles a bit of food out. Does that twice a day. I'll show you on the other piece, the other one, because it's a bigger container. But you'll also notice I've put an airline in. There's actually two. One's obviously in where the fish are at the minute. But all it is a little air pump. I wasn't sure the fish were getting enough food. But they've been same as the others. They've been anchored down and not wanting to feed. But if I can do this one-handed, I'll show you this. It's got a flat spot on the container. You just flick this blue lid off, pour your food in, clip it back in, and then that's how it looks as it's sat. And all you do, you slide that's closed fully. Oh dear. You slide it up and down to make the gap you want to feed your fish. It's really only for small food and flake, but it will get a fairly decent pellet out through there. And for me, it's not jammed up, it's not done anything, but when it's sat like that. So if I hadn't put that bit of plastic over the top, the rain would come down and go in that, just spoil your food. So it comes with a bit of Velcro which you can stick on the top. As you can see there, I put the Velcro on and then stuck the other plastic to it, and it's working. For me, it serves a purpose because, as I said earlier, I don't want my mate coming round 4 times a day to feed me fish. This can feed them twice a day, and when I'm here I can look after them the rest of the time. Now the fish now are in here. This is what there was in when I first got the fish. As I said, I had some die, but I mentioned it to Nigel. It's only a little airball. I mentioned it to Nigel, and he says he wanted to replace the fish without me paying anything because he weren't happy with that delivery. But I had 4 more. Now, the silver one there was in the first batch, and the yellow one was, and this piece of plastic, which I said was 4 inch, could have covered 2 on them at one time. I bought the other fish to encourage these to feed, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to move them into a different bowl now so you can see them better. Just 1 minute. Yeah, and we're back again. My plan was always to try and grow some small ones on, pretty much like the grow on show that they're all in at the moment. I did give Vince a ring the other day when he had that problem, and I saw him this morning on a video, and he's doing what I thought he would. He's not going to take any help. He's going to bring them 9 on and win with them 9, I think. But I wished him well, because obviously it's so upsetting to have a mechanical failure to ruin your chances really. But I'm sure he'll keep going without any problem. Right, these fish have causing me a problem, because I had one die the other day. It scraped itself on the underside, and my granddaughter came and she's adopted these fish, and my plan was always to get rid of them at the end of season, give them away to somebody, because if I do get them to grow, I've succeeded in what I wanted to do. And because they're not Japanese koi, I wouldn't put them in my other pond. Unfortunately, my granddaughter says, "Oh, they're cute, I love them, and I want to keep them, Grandad." And she started naming them. So I will have an issue at end, but I'm going to get one out and show you how small they are. Stop it. And this is Elvis. Reason being, how do I get this? He's got a dodgy lip. He's got his lips cocked up at one side. So that's Elvis. Obviously this one's one of the originals, and you can see how much bigger he is. That's Tin Man. I don't even know what sort of koi he is, but he's lovely and I like him. I haven't got any favourites because they only die. Oh, come here. This is another one of the original 6 what I bought. Well, that was Goldilocks, but she's not as big as the other. Tin Man's a really, in fact, really good shape, I think. Not that I know that much about shape of fish and things like that, because when I went down to Newark to beat the breeders, I picked a fish out for £1,000 cheaper because I thought it was the best one. But this is the new fish. He's a Deutsch. I don't want to keep them out. But it did the right thing by having them 2 fish, because it has made the others feed. And even the 4 new ones, 2 of them are slightly bigger. The red and white one there is the smallest, but this one, I think it's, I can't tell, but they're growing a lot quicker. But I've seen with the grow on the show and that, the difference between the different fish. And with both my ponds being outside, I've got no chance of getting some fish to fly. But oh, look how they've lined up, that's lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this video now. Hope you all have a lovely weekend, and hopefully see you down at the Nationals. I'm going to go down for 2 days, so might meet up with some who I've only ever seen on videos, such as Gaz and different people. But I actually found a video the other day. I'd watched the guy when he first set up, when he did his first, I think it's called Budget Koi or something like that. And it was only yesterday I found him again, and I watched it, and I subscribed to him because I think he was growing, well, I could remember, I haven't watched all his videos, I've only watched those 2, but I do think that he's worth watching. But I've put the thumbs up for him, which now I know we should all do. I've subscribed to him, and I've got his notifications, which I've got for most people anyway. But if you don't do that, I've realised there's that many videos going out, you just miss people who you quite enjoyed watching, and then you don't see them again. So if you don't get to press the subscribe and and the thumbs up and then the bell for the notifications, you might never see me again. Anyway, on that note, I'll say goodbye and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.